Hi, this is Ron Reich, and I started training Jiu-Jitsu at the age 45. And today I want to share with you what that first day was like. It was pretty tough, if I do say so myself. I remember that I was really nervous about going to class. I'd gone to Jiu-Jitsu classes previously in my life, and I really wanted to give it another go, to start training again, because I knew how powerful and how transformational it could be. But as Woody Allen says, 90% of success is showing up. And really, the most important step I ever made in my jiu-jitsu career was showing up for that first class. This was actually when I was in Barranquilla, Colombia. I found a 10th Planet, which is a school of jiu-jitsu gyms. I found a 10th Planet jiu-jitsu gym, and it was in a good location. I've done the research. It looked like a good place. And so I just decided, okay, all I got to do, I got to drive to the class. I just got to tell them that I want to take the first class. And I remember my wife dropped me off. Walking up those stairs, I was super terrified. And then the guy was there. I told him that I wanted to sign up. I wanted to take a class. He said, cool. And here's the thing that I forgot. Everybody in jiu-jitsu, they're all really nice. Everybody's super friendly most of the time, or at least the owners of the schools. And so he's like, okay, cool. And then the instructor showed up. This guy by the name of Mo, really cool dude. And there was only a couple people at the class. I think there was like 3 or 4 people at the class. And this class, I really do not remember what moves we learned. It's probably some kind of basic armbar. And honestly, my brain, a lot of the jiu-jitsu moves have a lot of steps to them, especially when I was my first class. It really is. They say that jiu-jitsu is like another language. It's like a language of the body, and it really is. But I remember when I walked into that first class, when I walked on the mat for the first time, I felt completely overwhelmed. I felt completely out of place. Who was I, this 45-year-old dude, trying to get back into jiu-jitsu, going through a midlife crisis? Not really, but kind of a stereotype. Hanging out with all these young kids, and I'm small, so oftentimes I end up having to. I'm not a big dude, so oftentimes I end up actually practicing with like younger kids, like high school kids, for example, who are more my size. So that is also very humbling. But I got through that first class, and I continued going to classes. At that time I was going, I think 3, maybe 4 times a week for the next few months. We ended up heading back to California. When we got back to California, then I was training even more consistently. And eventually, I did my first competition where I was 1-1. Lost my first match, but won my second one. Got second place out of 3 people in my division. And before my extended break, which happened earlier this year, I had some really good momentum, and now I'm regaining that momentum. And I'm feeling good about it. I went to 3 classes last week, 4 classes the week before. This week I'm tracking for 3 classes because I had a little bit of a not exactly an injury, I guess you could call it an injury, which did not actually come from jiu-jitsu. It came from running. So today's Tuesday. I would normally go to class this morning, but I had to skip class because of my thigh is a little bit sore. But still tracking for 3 classes this week, and I feel as though we're in a good place. And I'm so happy I showed up for that first class, because it's all about showing up. That's what I got today.